the biggest transaction in ICT?
Yes, well, good evening, Lorata. Yes, it is, and we're very proud of it. It's the biggest transaction we are aware of to date in equivalence has been approved by the Department of Trade and Industry.
Okay, so what led you to move in this direction?
Well, for a number of things. The first thing is, we wanted to be locally relevant as a company, and this program is aligned to some of the priorities around job creation, skills development, and enterprise creation. So from a local relevance point of view, that was something that one objective we wanted to achieve. The other one was obviously compliance to the local legislation. So specifically, the equity equivalent addresses the ownership pillar, and this deal will allow us to receive 20 points within the ownership pillar and move from a level 4 to level 2, which will enable us to become one of the most empowered ICT multinationals in South Africa.
Okay, so about 475 million rands of an investment. How's it going to work just in terms of benefiting those who've been brought in as partners?
So the program is designed to provide both funding and operational involvement in the organizations. The real objective and the aim is to help develop these companies into becoming large multinationals over a 7-year period. So we will be investing heavily together with consultants to identify the needs and the requirements of those ICT companies that we invest in, and in doing so, help them create software which they own, which they develop, and will be able to sell throughout the world.
Let's talk about that, and I'm a novice here, but I'm told that, there isn't a lot of dynamism in terms of developing software and written code, etc., etc. In Africa, there are issues around intellectual properties, and then if you do hook up with a big company like Microsoft, they buy you out. Is there any truth to all of that, and how is this going to create these software entrepreneurs that we've seen emerge in the United States and elsewhere?
So if we look at the quality of the respondents that we've got and the 4 companies we've selected today, each one has been selected based on their quality, based on their niche areas that they work in, and the differentiate and the uniqueness of their offerings. So they already have the skills, the ability. These are not new companies, they're existing companies that basically need growth funding in order to take them to the next level. And so when you combine that with the work that we'll be doing with them, sharing with them how we develop software, sharing with them how to market and how to sell software, we believe you'll have a combination of great technical skills and a great way to take their products to market. So we certainly believe that there's enough software entrepreneurs and dynamic software entrepreneurs in South Africa to achieve these goals.
I mean, I remember speaking to the Microsoft chairman for Africa once and saying, there's the good Microsoft, the benevolent one, and then there's the malevolent one, the one that, wipes out its competitors at any sign of competition. So those who are part of this program, how do they benefit from the Microsoft infrastructure, from the network of clients that you have? How do they ensure that they're not gobbled up by Microsoft eventually?
Well, first of all, we do not take equity in these partners. They are their own companies, they develop their own software, and in doing so, their own intellectual property that they create remains theirs. So we're there to assist. We will not be acquiring these companies, and so we'll be using our channel network, our partner network, which is over 6,000 strong in South Africa, to help market the products and technologies that these companies create, not just in South Africa, but throughout the emerging markets.
And very briefly, finally, any sort of major focal areas for growth? I know South Africa's got huge ICT needs in healthcare, in education. Are those going to be part of the things that inform these programs?
It is. In fact, when we decided to embark on this program, we identified some of the key growth areas and priorities of the South African government. So areas like, as you said, healthcare, education, safety and security, including mobility, and we're looking at cloud computing, which is a new model. So those are some of the high growth areas that we've identified, not just for South Africa, but for the emerging markets that these software companies will develop solutions for.